Hello and a very good day. Our group will present cost plan of a bungalow in Shah Alam, Selangor. Our group members consist of 5 members who are Hafiz, Shamsina, Muizuddin, Harizul and Amrini. Next, I will pass to Shamsina to proceed with the project detail.
Okay, now I will proceed with project details. The project consists of the demolition and rebuild of two-story bungalow house and one service block and a punch bowl. As we all know, this is a residential building and it is located at section 7, Bandar Shah Alam, Selangor, Darul Ehsan. And this bungalow is irregular in shape.
At the next slide, I will display to you drawings for the proposed project where there are ground floor and the first floor plan. Next, there are section E to E and section F to F. There also have right and left side elevation. The next slide, there are north and south elevation, the cross section of building and cross section along the line X.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Muizuddin bin Mahzani. Next, I will continue with the specification of the project. Generally, the project specification is divided into 6 categories. Firstly, the bungalow used reinforced concrete for the pile cap, ground beam, and slab underwork below the lowest finishes. Next, superstructure. The frame, upper floor, roof, and staircase is using reinforced concrete to construct the bungalow. For the wall element, both external and internal use half-brick wall of clay bricks. For windows and doors, it used a combination of timber casement, lowered windows, plywood flush doors, and etc. Moreover, the bungalow used plaster and paint, timber wallboard, and timber strip panel for external wall finishes. For the internal wall, the bungalow used a combination of cement and sands, plaster and paints, and ceramic tiles to the wet area. Next, in sanitary appliance, services use import product fittings such as Gala, Vitra, Grohe, and etc. For plumbing installation, it is used galvanized iron pipe, fiberglass reinforced plastic compartment suction tank for CWS and VCP pipe. For air conditioning, the bungalow includes an air cool split unit, kitchen exhaust hood, and etc. For electrical installation, it uses cross-link polythene as a main cabling, PVC sub-main cabling, distribution board, and etc. For communications, the installation of telephones and data is included in the project. For site work, it includes roads and a car park, site preparations, and retaining wall. For drainage, it included surface water drainage. For external services, it includes external water supply reticulations and sewerage. And lastly, ancillary buildings, which is cover walkway, guardhouse, and facing end gates.
Next one is the summary of cost plan. So as you can see in the pie chart, the most percentage fittings and furnishings, followed by services 24%, and then external works 13%, and then superstructure 11%, then finishes 5%, and followed by substructure 4%, and the last one is preliminaries with only 2%.
Next, data calculation. For WBLFF, to get the total cost of element, the GFA of the project is multiplied by the cost per m square GFA, which is taken from Appendix ECA. So, the total cost of element is 138,331 ringgit and 64 cents.
My name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Muhammad Asafin. I will continue for the next item, which is free. The total cost is achieved by means of a product of element unit quantity for the proposed project, which is 863 items with element unit rate, as referred to this A3, which is 50.74. The cost will be adjusted and will multiply with latest index, divide with original index, and the total cost for the element is RM 139 and 96.10 cents. Next item is upper floor. I'll use the same method as measuring the cost portion, which is the GFA 240 times with cost per GFA 9.87 and times with latest index per original index, which is 651 and 94. 0.94 divided with 182.66. The total cost for the element is RM 32,580.66 cents.
The next one is a superstructure for the element of roof. So to get the total cost element for the roof, we need to multiply element unit quantity with element unit rate. So the element unit quantity is 788.6 multiplied by RM 68 ringgit and 83 cent, and we got the total cost element for roof is 54,279 ringgit and 34 cent. The next element under superstructure is stairs. So to get the total cost element for the stairs, we need to multiply a GIFA with a cost per meter square GIFA. So the GIFA for this project is 863 meter square multiplied by cost per meter square GIFA, which is 106 ringgit and 87 cent. And we got the total cost element, which is 92,228 and 81 cent.
We move to the next item, which is windows and external door, where the total cost is 64,054 and 10 cents. Is a product of element unit quantity, 145 times with element unit rate, 139.74, and adjust the value by multiply the current index per original index to get the latest cost of the element. For internal doors, the element unit quantity is 219 multiplied with the unit rate 175.79 and adjust with the current index per original index to get the value of RM 131,082.8 cents for the total cost.
For internal wall, the element unit quantity, which is 349 meter square, is multiplied by element unit rate, which is 62 ringgit and 40 cent to get the total cost of element, which is 21,686 ringgit and 80 cents. For this calculation, it is also same with the external wall calculations.
Now I will proceed with finishes. All the elements for finishes use a build-up rate to get the cost plan. So the build-up rate is used because of the specification is not similar to the reference ECA and the drawing is detailed for the finishes. So based on the pie chart, the highest percent or the highest cost of finishes is external finishes, which is about 52%. So here is the detail of element unit quantity finishes of plaster and paint. And this one is the build-up rate for plaster and paint. So the last one is the calculation to get the cost of element, which is the element unit quantity times the build-up rates. So the calculation is similar to other elements of finishes. So that's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to the next person.
Next, to get the total cost of element for site work, we use GFA multiplied by the cost per m square GFA, which is 863 meter square times 350 to get 271,862 ringgit and 26 cents. For drainage, index is used to get the total cost of element, which is the total cost of element times by the current index divided by original index times GFA new buildings divided existing building. As shown in the slide, the total cost of element is 328,392 ringgit and 80 cents.
Next, for preliminary, the cost taken from the ECA3, which is 79,415.22 cents, And then I adjust the value with the current index per original index. And the product will be multiplied with GFA for new building, divided with GFA from the referred ECA, which is 864, divided with 2023, where for the latest cost of preliminary is 111,306 and 50 cents.
So the next one here is external services. So we use the method for external services here, total element from our reference ECA, which is 26,822 and 49 cent, multiplied by cover index, which is 621.94, divided by original index, which is 182.66, multiplied by GFA for this carbon project, which is 863, divided by GFA from our reference ECA, which is 2023, and we get the total cost element, which is 38,964 ringgit and 45 cent. Next one is ancillary buildings. So for the total cost element from our reference ECA is 13,103 ringgit and 51 cent, multiplied by cover index, which is 621.94, divided by original index, 182.66, multiplied by GFA for carbon project, 863, divided by GFA, our reference ECA, which is 2023, and we get the total cost element 19,037 ringgit and 78 cent.
Okay, now moving on to the calculation for services, which is the first item is sanitary appliances, which is element unit quantity multiple by bulk rate. So this is the example of bulk rate for sanitary appliances. For wash basin is price rate, I take from the JKR rates, and then for the general labor, plumber, and also I take from the JKR rate, which is wash basin is 450 ringgit, and general labor is 60 ringgit, and plumber is 70 ringgit. This is the example on how to calculate the plumbing and sanitary installation and air conditioning installation and ventilation, which is we take a total cost of element from ACA, and then we multiply with current index over original index, and GFA of a new building and GFA of ECA that we take as a reference. The calculation here is same as before.
Lastly, is a calculation for fittings and furnishings. So the calculation is a total cost of element from our reference ECA, which is 954,996 ringgit and 90 cent, multiplied by current index, which is 621.94, divided by original index, 292.48, multiplied by GFA for carbon project, 863, divided by GFA for our reference ECA, 858. So we get the total cost of element, which is 2,040,477 and 20 cent.